rock and roll into the way. Give me the Street Fighter. Kick my ass in.
Well, welcome, my friends, to the Confused Breakfast, the podcast where we hit pause on the chaos of today and rewind to a simpler time when it wasn't about convenience, it was about the experience. Do you remember the magic of a Friday night trip to the video rental store?
Oh, yeah.
Wandering the aisles, making the big decision of what movie was coming home with you. We're all part of the last generation that knows the joy of the search, the snap of a plastic clamshell, and we're here to revisit the movies that shaped us and defined our childhoods. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who are essentially worker ants scurrying about their pitiful weapons, afraid of the purity of unarmed combat. Sean Pryor and AJ Vance, how the heck are you?
I mean, it depends on what we have. Like, is there bare knuckles? Are we shirts and skins? What are we doing? Like, what's the type of combat?
It's like a pickup game, or are we talking like some real low down war here?
Yeah. Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs?
Ooh, fisticuffs. Wow.
But you're afraid of unarmed combat and the purity of it.
Well, yeah, I'm bringing a gun
like,
every single time.
I feel like if the
This is
adversary, the person I'm facing, doesn't have arms, they're unarmed. Unarmed combat?
Yeah.
They don't have arms?
Yes, correct.
Well, see, I'm okay with that.
So it's just a flying kick fight.
I'll kick his ass all day.
It's just a fall down.
Let's go.
How do you get up without arms? Like kind of get to your knees?
You know how. You've done it as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if can I try it real quick? On
Yeah.
the
You
floor?
remember when you put your arms in your shirt, and you're like, did that?
Let's
that whole
take the
thing?
time to do this.
Let's
actually.
do this now.
All right, Sean, get on the
do
floor
this
real
now.
I'm
quick.
doing this.
Put your arms to your side.
Okay.
I don't even know if he can capture any of it.
Okay. Get up from your back without using your arms. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Easy. So it's a rollover motion to your knees.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
turtle. It's like a turtle, but yeah. There he is.
It's
Calves.
evident. It's evident we haven't been in the studio for a couple weeks, guys.
Yeah.
Evident.
What are we doing?
Well, boys, on today's episode, we discuss a movie based off of one of the most popular video game franchises of the 90s. A movie with a script that was so disposable that it was rewritten or thrown away daily on set, and many of us still aren't sure what the plot is. This movie directly funded Thailand's cocaine industry, thanks to JCVD, and sadly, this movie was the last on-screen role for Raul Julia. Make You Cry July continues with 1994's Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with The Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Well, today we have the honor of lighting a candle from Illuminidal Candles. This one came from Matthew Polselwaite. I probably said that wrong, but he sent it to our P.O. box. And anytime you send us a prayer candle with somebody's face on it, as we have today, Jean-Claude Van Damme's, we're going to do a movie with that actor in it. And of course, we had to do Street Fighter. We just had to. So if you're new to the podcast, we will be reviewing this movie scene by scene with a modern eye, but we like to talk about it first of all with pure nostalgia. AJ, tell me the first time you saw Street Fighter and what your thoughts were on the movie.
Oh man, we rented this. We had to see this movie. Like, we didn't go to theaters to see this, but we had to see this movie. Like, it was so important. And then we saw it, and I was like, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if it's good. Is this good? World, tell me if this is good. And it's one of those movies that you just sit and think, you sit and try and convince yourself, like, oh, this is great. I'm having fun. But then you realize this is like a made-for-TV movie that was made for TV in like North Korea. It's not good, guy. And so,
So even back then, you were
I was just like,
no way.
I was like, oh man. I really thought it was something special. I really did work hard to convince myself. That being said, I worked so hard to do so, that I'll go ahead and give this a 6.8.
6.8 for AJ. Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of Mortal Kombat when I was growing up, and we watched it all the damn time, and I played that game a lot. And then my friends were like, well, you ever played Street Fighter? I'm like, no, I haven't really. I mean, I've seen it be played. He's like, well, let's watch the movie. But I don't know what happened because we never did. And I've never seen this.
You've never seen Street Fighter?
No.
Oh, my God. Finally, Sean is on the list of never-seens. Jesus.
What an idiot.
I suck.
Sean is an NA. Guys, Street Fighter, like we talked about when we did Mortal Kombat, was my favorite game. I liked Street Fighter better than Mortal Kombat. I would have first played it in 91 in the arcade, and then I bought it, Street Fighter 2 for Sega, and played it and played it and played it and built up storylines in my head and got infatuated with the characters and what they were doing and the win screens at the end. Like, I took Chun-Li to the victory, and it's so great. I helped her win. So when this movie came out, I'm like, oh, my God, finally. I left the theater. Never watched the movie ever again because I was so utterly disappointed with what they tried to do to the world I had built up in my head. I hated this movie more than any movie I had ever seen, and therefore vowed to never watch it again until I would have a podcast at age 43 reviewing it. So I'm giving this movie a 1. I hated it so much as a kid. I like AJ, wanted to build it up in my head, but I did not allow it to trick me. It was a 1. So between me and AJ, nostalgically, we're a 3.9. And that's going to be pretty low on the whole thing of things. That is actually going to be bottom 3 of any movie we've done. That is tied with Event Horizon for our nostalgic brains.
Oh, wow.
Still a little bit better than Princess Bride and Alien. Alien being the lowest score that we've given a movie nostalgically. So,
wow.
It was scary, dude.
It was too spooky.
Well,
okay?
We're going to rip array all the nostalgia geek, and we're going to do it strictly modern eye from here on out. And we'd like to start off with Sean. Tell us all the important details we got to know to do it modern eye, baby.
Produced by Kenzo Tsushimoto. Music by Graham Revell. He also did Strange Days, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Craft, The Saint, Pitch Black, Blow, The Crow.
Blow the Crow. All right.
That sounds like the name of an Incubus album.
Pitch Black, Blow the Crow.
there's a colon in there.
Oh, there's colons.
Pitch Black, semicolon.
Semicolon?
Pitch Black, semicolon, Blow the Crow.
Blow the Crow.
Edited by Edward Abrams, Don Aaron, Dove Honing, Anthony Redman, Robert Sugar. Lots of editors. Yeah,
sure.
I'm positive. Cinematography by William Fraker, famous cinematographer, did Rosemary's Baby, Bullet, War Games, Tombstone. Kind of fun. Written and directed by Stephen E. D'Souza. He wrote 48 Hours, Commando, Die Hard, The Running Man. And this is his directorial debut.
Oh, wow.
Cast: Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, Ming-Na Wen, Damian Chapa, Kylie Minogue, Simon Callow, Brian Mann, Andrew Buransky, Jay Tavray, Wes Studi, Peter Teosopopo, and Grand Bush.
A cast of everybody that was popular in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No. Not at all.
Capcom had been wanting to get into the movie business for some reason for some time in the 90s and obviously wanted to adapt one of their game properties into a feature film. For Street Fighter, they actually put up most of the money to make the film, but even went as far as having a hand in casting. Capcom had always envisioned Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. Van Damme was a rising star at the time, so $8 million alone went to his fee for being in the film. Then after Raul Julia was cast, another prominent actor, most of the film's casting budget was already spent making writer-director Steven DeZosa cast relatively unknowns to fill out the rest. Capcom had a major stipulation attached to the production on top of casting who they wanted. Capcom also set a hard deadline of release date for December 1994, which was not even a year for writing, production, and editing. This time constraint meant they wouldn't be able to find an experienced director to helm the project, so they took a gamble on first-time director D'Souza, hoping that his writing and snappy dialogue would be most of the heavy lifting. Yet another problem arose when Raul Julia was suffering from terminal stomach cancer, not known to the crew at the time. They did not know he was terminal. Julia had just had surgery, so he looked very weak and very skinny, very gaunt, which forced the production to shoot all of the action scenes involving Julia first and from a distance, so to not draw attention to the actor's dwindling health. When Julia was able to gain some weight, they then shot the actor's close-ups and dialogue scenes, which would be bittersweet, as this was the actor's final performance. They also gave him a lot more costuming to kind of beef him up a little bit. We'll get into it, but very sad and honestly, in my opinion, a fucking awesome way to go out. With the looming release date, the film had to be somewhat rushed. The stunt coordinator, who wanted to have at least a month of preparation with the actors, had to settle for an on-set improvising or for some of the stunts. That time constraint was not limited to the stunts either, as the actors had to improvise some of their lines to substitute lines in the script that just didn't work, as it left no time for any rewrites. Street Fighter was released on December 23rd, 1994, and on a budget of $35 million, the film made $99.4 million at the box office, most of that taking from the Asian markets of Japan specifically. That's all I got.
Wow, Sean, thank you so much. Now we got to go to AJ, because we want to know all about the critics and the fans and what they had to say about this movie. What do you got on this one?
This is really going to piss Mike off. Troopers, I've just received new orders. Our superior...
I didn't mean to do it. I did not mean to touch it. No, I didn't.
Dude.
I can't. Look how awkward this is to put my arm
so
back here.
awkward right now. I have to start over.
Do it again. I didn't mean to push it.
Troopers, I have just received new orders. Our superiors say the war is canceled, and we can all go home. Bison is getting paid off for his crimes, and our friends will have died here. Will have died for nothing. We can all go home. Meanwhile, ideas like the tomato meter, freedom, justice, they get packed up. But we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home, guys. I'm going to get on my boat, and I'm going upriver. I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with the tomato meter?
Gross.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
It's really good, man.
Thanks, man.
Really good job.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude. No. 11%. Splurge.
Oh, of the 230 plus movies that we have done, this is fifth from the bottom per the critics. Only Blank Check, Out Cold, Cocktail, and Biodome have worse critical ratings than this movie.
Jeez.
As they should.
You're right.
Yeah.
Out Cold?
Yeah,
sorry.
come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
Some spilled popcorn happening over there in the theaters. So 20% on the popcorn meter from audiences. And then we're going to have IMDb bringing us in at 4.1.
If you thought that was bad, that is tied with Super Mario Brothers for the lowest rated movie that we have done on this podcast, per the fans.
What does that tell you?
What does that tell you?
What does it tell you? Let me see. Let me tell you what it tells me, guys. It told John Petrakis at the Chicago Tribune a 63 out of 100.
Now, I believe we had maybe last week for Maximum Overdrive that Roger Ebert just subs it out to his like catering guy
Yeah,
or something.
Siskel, like, because that was whatever his is, and because Tribune is Ebert's.
Yeah.
And he did. He's like, I don't have time for this bullshit.
So he like, I think he gave the last one to his typist, is what I said. I think he gave this one to like the copy guy on the 11th floor.
It's like the intern's intern.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, just watch the movie and
Please.
say something about it.
Well, is the price of the ticket covered? No.
No.
Oh, no.
You're going to do this on your dime. And no one wants to pay for this. 63, but so this is what he ended up coming back with.
Okay.
was the intern said, it is beautifully shot and the production design is first rate. Another strong point is the presence of some excellent actors in small roles. Unfortunately, they all have to work opposite Van Damme, who keeps trying to be witty and smart, but still comes across a bit like a lunk.
He does.
So I like to imagine that this intern,
Yeah.
while working at the Chicago Tribune under the thumb of Roger Ebert, is not allowed to see movies unless he says okay, it's okay. So he had a great time going to see this movie.
Yeah,
Of course he did.
He thought like, okay, I got to really impress Roger Ebert this time. So he's like, I'm going to say some good things about it, and he's going to let it go. And then Roger Ebert would have like come across this. He'd be like, that son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. All right. Anyways, Los Angeles Times says, if the story isn't quite incoherent, then DeSouza's klutzy direction is going to render it so. Gotcha. The Seattle Times, 38 out of 100, a chaotic juvenile slag head of semi-futuristic action that should make at least a few Hollywood idiots think twice about adapting another video game.
1 year later, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Is
Let's
that
see.
also Capcom?
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay.
Acclaim.
Okay.
No. I don't know.
I think you're right. It's Acclaim.
I was going to look it up. We're just going to leave it there.
It's Acclaim.
Yep, it's
Ooh,
Acclaim.
put a TikTok of it.
Ooh.
It'll piss people off.
Okay,
Ooh.
ready? Yeah. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were both created by Capcom.
Capcom.
No, it's 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone knows
real.
that actually. And
That's
and
real.
anybody who disputes it's actually really dumb.
Yep. They're so stupid.
So
And they don't know anything about video games.
yeah, or movies.
Yeah. They probably don't even like them.
I bet they
At
can't
all.
read.
Probably.
That's why they try to play video games.
why
But
they're
they
on
suck
TikTok.
at it. They couldn't even understand when they said push A to begin. They couldn't push it because they didn't know how to read.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, guys,
You got him.
You're doing it, buddy. You got it, man.
thanks, guys. 8 out of 10, vastly better than it had any right to be.
All right.
This was in 1999.
Wow.
This is from Doodles.
Doozles.
It was spelled Dudles.
Yeah.
Doodles? Doodles?
Yeah.
It's definitely either for kids or fans of the game, but speaking as someone who played the games, you could definitely see the characters emerging and the fun of spotting the characters from the game before they are named made this worth watching. Really? That's
So
what
much
made
fun.
it, that's
So
what
much
made
fun.
it worth watching.
Oh, look. I bet that's Blanca.
God. No, that's Carlos, also known as Charlie. What? We'll get there. Raul Julia was nothing short of brilliant, and even Jean-Claude Van Damme was pretty good. The plot was at least consistent, if obvious as hell, and the whole thing seemed well thought out. The ending, however, is nothing short of crap, leaving a very, very huge loose end. But you gave it an 8 out of 10. Well, we just couldn't give the last 2 stars because of that.
couldn't. It was a perfect movie going into the last scene.
Yeah,
Loose ends. That's 2.
loose ends.
Sorry.
Loose butthole.
Docking you.
Let's see. There's 1 out of 10. Vegeta 2. They're a Dragon Ball Z fan. They don't like Street Fighter. Of all the bad movies based on good video games, this is the worst. Being a huge fan of the games, I was more insulted than disappointed at this movie. On every level, it fails. As an action movie, as an adaptation of the games, as a Van Damme vehicle, the most degrading thing is the deliberate mispronunciation of Ryu's name. It's Ryu, not Ryu. Overall,
I will be saying Ryu this entire
I will
episode.
probably be
yes,
saying
me
as
too.
well.
And that's not just because that guy said so. It's just because I'm going to say it.
yeah. I think that's how I always said it as a
We
kid.
always said Saget.
We did
Oh,
too.
it's Saget the rest of the
It's Saget.
episode. I'm telling you that.
That
is.
was how we said it.
Yeah, that's how we
Because
said it.
Sagat is really not fun to say.
No.
No, not at all. Overall, just a terrible, terrible movie. You know what? Some people really enjoyed this. Like this person, Movie Man, 1983.
Fuck yeah.
Why do people hate this movie? 10 out of 10. Almost everyone I talk to hates this movie. They think it's the worst movie ever made. I would have to disagree. I think the movie has some good parts and some not so good parts. Like when Ryu, Byron Mann, tells Ken at the end, I know you don't, in a deep voice. I believe that Street Fighter is one of the best made from a video game movies out there. I wish people would see that. I don't know. I disagree. Well, or do I? Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Tipping your hat.
Last one here. Come on, people. This was a decent movie. It's 10 out of 10. I don't get why everybody did not like this movie. I mean, it wasn't Shakespeare, but I was very entertained. Roughly 100 minutes of the movie ran. Van Damme isn't the greatest, but he was still believable. This was a decent action movie with a plot and with some decent emotion and acting. Give it a break already. Nope.
I refuse to.
No, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to
for 2
talk
hours.
about it. We're going to talk about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, friends, you've just parachuted into the war-torn nation of Shadaloo with a burning desire to uppercut your way to justice. You came here for the Hadoukens, the sonic booms, the spinning bird kicks, the flash kicks, the yoga flames, and the tiger uppercuts. But you won't see any of those here, because who needs those iconic moves anyway when you have a plot where Guile is American, but sounds like he's from Brussels, Ken and Ryu are petty con men, and Dalsim is a lab technician? This movie feels like it was written by someone who played Street Fighter 2 once in 1992 and then immediately backed out and stopped playing the game and made a movie based on it. So grab your bison bucks, flex those inexplicable shoulder muscles, and fire up your nostalgia, because this is a scene-by-scene breakdown of Street Fighter. For you, hitting play on this podcast may have been the most important day of your life. For us, it's just Thursday.
Just Thursday.
Here we go. So this movie kicks off in the fictional country of Shadaloo, where the power-hungry warlord General M. Bison has taken dozens of hostages and demands a $20 billion ransom. Meanwhile, Colonel Guile vows to bring him to justice while accidentally tipping off Bison about his friend Charlie, who's a hostage. We're introduced to Chun-Li, a reporter with a personal vendetta against Bison, and her camera crew, who are secretly a sumo wrestler and a professional boxer. We also meet Ryu and Ken as a weapons deal goes south with Sagat. That's how we're going to say it.
That's how we're going to say it. Chun-Li's news report. Man, it's really long.
Yeah.
Like, almost expository.
Yeah.
You mean like almost like setting us up for like what's going to happen in the film and what's happened before it?
Like,
Weird.
Like, wow, they're staying on this, huh?
Yeah.
Like watching the news report at home, just being like, okay, yeah, I mean, I get it.
All right.
I get it. It's happening. Like, you're filming it. I get it. You could like show me this later.
No, you can't.
Okay.
It was it's a lot. It's a lot. It just seems to never end. I just wish there are other ways to give exposition other than just blatantly saying things.
Yeah.
Like anytime a new character is introduced in any sort of fashion, it'll just be like, Balrog, boxer guy. Hey, come on over. It's like, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
We get it. You're just beating us over the head with in case you don't know, this is E Honda.
But that's what's so weird about it to me is that you kind of do, like they announce these people right away, but later on, like you've got Ken and Ryu here right off the bat, kind of. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was Ken and Ryu because they don't look anything like Ken and Ryu do in the game whatsoever, to where it took about 13 minutes of this being in this movie till when they finally said, Ken, Ryu, come over here. I'm like, oh, that's Ken and Ryu. Dude, oh, okay.
I was wondering who these guys were.
Who are these weird guys that look nothing like the characters in the movie?
They look like a couple, like a down on their luck real estate duo. I'm going to be honest with you, man.
Especially Ken wearing the world's worst outfit of all time. Did you see that?
Yes. This is like, what is this outfit? Like, this tie looks like, I'm pretty sure that's what Tommy Pickles' dad wears in Rugrats. Like,
right around the era, dude.
Like, it's bad.
It's mismatched denim, tucked in
denim
with a tie and a brown vest that doesn't fit.
And then, by the way, he just has like this comb-backed hair. Ken has long hair.
Ken has long, blonde, wild hair.
His defining trait of the video game, and you just like, nah, we're gonna do it.
This
with
guy's
that.
fine.
Give him a vest. That'll make him look like a. Yeah,
He'll look like a businessman.
Yeah.
So, you guys have talked about it before on the show about Street Fighter and like us being friends, just our conversations.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about with the video game wise. So like all of this is just movie to me.
Okay.
And so I'll be the guy that has nothing to compare this to.
Okay, this is
So you
important
have
though,
no
Sean, because
preconceived notion. I get it.
Well,
Yeah.
I wonder, like, as a guy who watched this movie at loving the video game, I hated it because it just didn't do what I wanted it to do with these characters that I love so much. But
Yeah.
then you, as a person who's just watching this as a movie, is it almost better that you don't know about it, or is it almost worse because then they still are like, oh, by the way, here's these people that you don't know?
This is almost like a not on the quite the level of this, but a Miami Connection or Hard Ticket to Hawaii kind of like espionage, like 007-ish kind of thing going on, and I had a good time.
So it's almost better that you didn't know the game.
Probably. I mean, it seems so because
Yeah.
like I really don't. I like for the video game wise, like, and it's a fighting game, so I don't know how much lore is involved.
And that's what's wild is as a kid, like I somehow had all this lore in my head, but it didn't exist. It's
No.
literally just two players fighting each other in a different country.
Right.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Most of like what the game was, and a lot of people don't even think about the actual original Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Do you?
Started on 2 here, guys.
Yeah. Most people just like, oh, Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior. That was it. And the original Street Fighter was a one-player game. It was only Ryu that you played as.
Yep.
And you played through like several of the characters until you got to Sagat.
Or Sagat.
Yeah, he was the boss in the original
Okay.
Street Fighter. So you would just play through that, and the only way, and then Ken was a second alternate character who you could play as. I think as long as you just once you defeated him or something, and then like or sorry, as if you could play 2-player. Ken was the second guy, was player 2, and if you beat player 1, then you could play the story as Ken. That's how it was.
That
laid
was
out.
it.
That was it. Those are the only 2 playable characters in the first one, and then Street Fighter 2 came out, and you got a lot more characters in development.
because Capcom they like had a bunch of people do drafts of this, and everyone came back with like, you know, they didn't know at the time, but would be like a Mortal Kombat style movie of it being like a tournament.
Yes.
You know, and they even like scrapped the word tournament from any of the scripts. They just didn't want to do it. They wanted like an actual narrative for the movie. And this is what Steven DeZosa came up. I mean, this is the guy who wrote Die Hard.
yeah,
It's
You can see that.
you can see it.
you can see it.
It's funny to me because they're creating this stuff, right? So they're making M. Bison this warlord, and they're giving him this lair and this world domination plan, which was never a part of any of the games. You know
Was
what
he
I mean?
like a bad guy in the game?
No, everybody's a bad guy, right?
I
Like,
mean, kind of like there
was no alliances like this other than Ken and Ryu. They were like friend brothers, kind of, I guess, in the game. But
yeah, they were from like they had the same master
Okay,
or whatever,
yes.
right? So, but the whole premise of the game was that M. Bison was putting on a tournament, and he was basically inviting in like the world's greatest
Yes.
warriors. So then he could basically either brainwash them or pay them off, and basically
I didn't even get that.
bring them under. That was the whole premise. That was the story behind the game, the fighting game. Nobody cares.
No.
you just have characters fighting. That was all you cared about. It was a game called Street Fighter. Like, that's it.
But it is being modern eye now, though.
Yeah.
I am much more appreciative of what this movie's doing because I didn't get it when I was a kid. But this like over the top, like villain, almost like James Bond, like you said, maybe even more into the Austin Powers
It
era.
felt very Austin Powers.
Right?
Now
You've got
looking
this
back.
you've got this wall of TVs cliche that we always talk about, which by the way, I screenshotted this to show you,
Amazing.
and I will send it to Brian to put it in the show, but they put the M. Bison skull on that wall of TVs, and it's fucking off-centered. Did you see that? And it bothered me so much that they didn't use the whole right side of the TVs. They couldn't somehow figure out how to put it on there.
Part of the wing looks like it's cut off on the other side.
Just the little things like that actually made me enjoy this movie so much better. Like, and okay, let's get into Jean-Claude Van Damme here. Like, what the fuck is he doing in this movie?
Jesus Christ, venereal disease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even the first moment you see him, when he does the whole thing, he like takes over Chun-Li's newscast and he's like, Bison, I know you like to look at yourself on television, you sick son of a bitch. So look at this. And he does like, what is he making him look at?
What is that?
His bicep? What's happening there?
Maybe he can see his reflection in his greased up bicep. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't make quite much sense. There's my one.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of unfortunate because, and I don't know if it's because of Raul Julia's performance, but JCVD is not that great in this. Where I'm like, man, you really could have hammed it up, JCVD.
This might be one of the worst movies he's ever done.
I mean, he's not like bad in it. His performance isn't bad. It's just like he's not in it much. Really?
I'm going to argue, Sean. I think this is the worst I've ever seen him on screen. I think he doesn't give a shit. I think he looks terrible. He was apparently doing $10,000 worth of cocaine a day in 1994. Are we talking US dollars in Thailand? Like, what are we?
What's the exchange rate here?
Start doing the math on that.
Know?
Apparently, he would hole up in like the presidential suite of this hotel and never interact with anybody and be late to set. And he would like bring booze with him to set, take forever. He would like do multiple takes at these scenes we're seeing. Yeah, and that was the best that we got out of him.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. He does look like he's kind of walking through it. And I do want to say, though, that if I knew my tax dollars were going to fund JCVD's cocaine addiction, I'd be okay with that. I just want to know where they're going.
Just tell me what it's doing.
And that's fine. That's a good cause, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is how messed up JCVD was back then, is that after this was over, like, even though this had terrible scores, this movie made a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they had talked about doing a sequel right away, and they paid him $8 million for this, and they came back to him and said, we want to do a 3-picture deal at $12 million a piece. And he said no, because in his psychopathic, coked out brain, he saw that Jim Carrey was making $20 million a film, and he thought that he was more talented and better actor than Jim Carrey, and so he said no because he wanted $20 million. Studio said, go fuck yourself, and then he pretty much went on to make nothing for the rest of his career.
Well, if you look, are we determining that he might be kind of a one-trick pony at this point? If he's not just in a basic fighting tournament and has like one adversary who's like kind of the other big bad at the other end of this fighting tournament.
If that is not what's happening, we're saying he can't handle it.
And yeah, like so his quest to like of personal vendetta, revenge, and that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
Well, we know what we're getting when we see a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and like the thing is, we just don't get it here.
Yeah,
is what me personally is what I'm disappointed in.
And I think that was a.
I hate this thing so much. I'm so mad.
Again with the squeaky shoes.
We're gonna do this. Look at that.
Hell yeah! Perfect. I don't know why you haven't done that the past 90 episodes.
Check out our YouTube if you want to know what's going on here.
It's a visual episode for sure. Sorry, AJ.
Like one of the reviews like I read though, it kind of nailed it. Like this even fails. It even fails as a Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does. It doesn't give us except for like a little bit later. By the way, for a movie called Street Fighter, there's not that much fighting in this movie.
Which is why I hated it when I was a kid.
Yeah. Like, at least Mortal Kombat gave us some one-on-one, like,
it gave us
fights.
Video game moments where you're like, here we go. Here's the video game taking place on the screen in real life.
Like
this one, not so much.
This guy does his like power punch or whatever, and we see finishes in Mortal Kombat.
Dude, when he says, when they have like these like soldiers captured and stuff, and he's making his ransom demands, he says to like this one guy who looks he looks like he's like the second or third chef on a ship, like peels potatoes on a regular
basis. He's the drummer
basis.
that walks on the front line drumming so they can march to the beat.
This guy's got a bad haircut. Even like he hasn't been in regs for I don't know how many months. He's having a tough day as it is, tough month, and then he's like he has to go and face like the most evil man on the planet. And he's just like, you've been waiting to fight me. You came all this way to fight me. Well, here's your chance. He's like, fuck me? Seriously? Seriously, guys? I'll give it.
Put me in the pit.
He's got his pear knife.
He's like, and then guy number 2, he's like, oh yeah, now it's my turn. Like I'll give this a go. Why not?
like they're getting pushed down the slide in A Christmas Story.
Exactly, dude. It's like,
did you hear that Wilhelm? Did you hear the Wilhelm scream too? Like 2 minutes into this movie, they throw a guy into a pit.
I don't think it's exactly it, but
I'm pretty sure
it's definitely this movie's version of it.
I'm at this point, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm actually kind of liking this movie upon my rewatch here.
So can I bring this up then? On the contrary to JCVD, we have Raul Julia.
Oh, come on, dude.
Is he not fucking destroying this movie every second he's on it?
Honestly, going back and watching this, he's the only one I feel like who gets his character.
Yeah.
Who understands what his character's supposed to be. Chung Lee feels like it's like nobody told her that she's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Her entire time through this fucking movie. Nobody told her she's not a bad guy. It's like she has these long monologue moments of like that she's like,
I'm so important to the story.
You really thought that you had it all figured out. It's like you're not getting one up on. You're a prisoner here. Like, what are you doing? And Raul Julia is the only person who has this like figured out, it feels like.
Well, and just a testament to him as an actor in his craft, he researched various dictators and crime lords about their lives, their personalities. He mimicked their traits to incorporate them into the M. Bison character. Notably, Mussolini's hand gestures, Joseph Stalin's mannerisms, Escobar's like elusiveness, Adolf Hitler's love of art. Like these were all things that he wanted to incorporate to make Bison like an all-time villain.
Yeah. And
only he's going to pull that off. And man, like now that I'm a dad, man, this makes me so sad that they literally knew that he had terminal stomach cancer when he accepted this role. And he could have said, I can't do it, guys. I want to spend the rest of my time with my family. But instead, he brought his family with him, and he wanted to do this movie because his kids love Street Fighter, and he thought it would be a really cool way to immortalize himself into like lore and into his family's
thing
life
that they like so much. It
kills me,
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like I watched a couple of videos on like just his performance, which arguably it may be the only thing to talk about in this movie.
Do you want to just keep talking about it?
Like it is really, really special, and I love that kind of story
completely.
And like he showed up on set too, and it was just like gaunt. Like this is the stage where he had just gone through his surgery.
Nothing.
It was just like skin and bones and like just gray almost looking, and was just like, hey guys, what's up? Like ready to go, having fun. This is gonna be cool. Like wires, shit, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Why not?
It's just I love that, and the performance, it reflects everything that it seems like this man was just such a consummate professional and brings so much life into this movie.
Yeah, and that's what also makes it even more frustrating hearing like the Jean-Claude.
This man is alive and well, doing $10,000 worth of cocaine a day and can't even show up on set on time.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He had an affair with Kylie Minogue. Like he just doesn't give a shit.
Well,
yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah, so did I, man. Weird.
Kiss too. Oh, me. Who hasn't?
Well, let's do scene 2. So Bison begins experimenting on Charlie Blanca using Dr. Dulcim. Ryu and Ken are forced to fight Sagat's, I said it that way, fighter Vega, but it's interrupted by Guile's team who arrests everyone. Guile sees potential in the duo and recruits them to help infiltrate Sagat and Bison's inner circle with the help of a staged prison break and some light fake death dramatics from Guile. Ken and Ryu gain Sagat's trust. Chun-Li discovers that Guile's death was faked.
So I first watched through this movie. I was like, what in God's name is going on?
Yes.
Because even when he's having the meeting with his Guile is having the meeting with his crew, his soldiers, the guy comes in who's like the would-be assassin and sweeps his fucking leg and kicks his fucking ass. And he's like, look at this tattoo, it's snake wrapped and it says mom on it. Yeah. But in reality it's he was just coming to tell you about the specials of the day. He was our new chef.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. Where did that come from? And that's, people are trying to kill him, I guess. That's what they're trying to get across.
Everyone's trying to impress you, Guile.
Yeah.
Okay? He just wanted to impress you. He wanted to get up on his soapbox, quote unquote. He just took it a little too literal.
They were just apparently rewriting the script every single day. Just making things up as they went along, with the rewrites of when they wanted to shoot things. So I really think the plot just doesn't make much sense. It just doesn't.
And once you kind of once I really kind of dug into it, I was like, oh, okay. I see a little bit of the merit to it because we'll get into it a little bit more later, but after anything happens, there's always someone who gets captured.
Yeah.
Literally that's the ending of the action scene arc. Someone gets captured.
That's literally it. It's the same thing over and over and over again. There's never a time or never a scene, or maybe even just call it, there's never an act that doesn't end with a capture.
Yeah. It almost feels like a crutch, but I did like how all of the characters, because I didn't know the game, and I guess this has nothing to do with the game apparently, but all the characters kind of meeting, and especially Guile, Ken, and Ryu,
please,
are meeting, and you're it's almost adversarial, ish, because he's he says, what's he say? He fucking, or no, yeah, he says the only way you guys are leaving is over my dead body, and he says it with a smirk. And it's brother, when you say shit like that, I can't. It's hard to discern.
Are you joking or what?
And I did like how the movie. It kind of got me. The movie led me to believe that are they? I thought there's a whole big team, But then it kind of reveals itself. The way it reveals itself is pretty fucking ridiculous. But it was actually kind of cool how all these characters do actually get together.
Yeah.
And it takes the whole movie to do it. I did kind of like it.
The more I thought about it, Sean, as a kid, I just wanted it to be some great story that I had built up in my head.
Yeah.
But they had to
That was never going to happen.
No, they had to create a storyline to try to interweave all of these characters in together. And as a kid, I hated it. But now it's this actually isn't that bad of a way to do it, to get all the people on screen.
Yeah. They figured out, they figured out at least some connections, how to make it happen, T-Hawk, Cammy, Guile, all the okay, I guess. It's
sometimes
that's
it works.
About all I can say is all right, I guess.
Dulcim being this lab guide is not good for me, but whatever. He's in the movie. Okay, fine. But there's the guy. Oh, look, there's Dulcim.
By the
there's
way,
Blanca.
They also, I feel like we could also just, I love to play this game where we say, if this was a Netflix series. If this was a Netflix series, then it would be an anthology type series of all the different buddy cop scenarios we have going on.
Because they do sort of pair up, don't they?
They're all paired up in some way,
Yes.
shape, or form to some degree. You have you have Balrog and E Honda.
And you've got Vega and Sagat.
You
got kind of Guile and
Ken
Cammy,
Ryu,
I guess.
obviously. Guile and
T-Hawk,
Cammy.
Ken and Ryu.
And then you would put Chun-Li with Balrog and E Honda, I suppose. But just you just created a bunch of buddy cop movies and you just mashed them all together. like, oh, we're going undercover. It's like, well, you undercover? Like, why are you undercover? What are Ken and Ryu even doing?
Yeah.
It's like they're
We don't even know.
We don't even know. Like, it took me.
And they keep saying they're good guys like us. I'm like, are you good guys?
Yeah.
What were you trying to do to like steal? You were trying to rip off an arms dealer? Like, that's not a good thing.
Seems sketchy, at least.
It seems really sketchy,
At the
man.
very least.
You were committing fraud by giving fake guns to a dictator and trying to take his money. Like, that's not a good thing.
You shot at a guy.
Yeah.
I know he told you to, but damn.
Jeez.
This is where the movie just I'm like starting to like it and then I'm hating it at every turn.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't realize how truly funny this movie was. Like they were, I thought it was like fake cheese, but it's like they were actually trying to be pretty funny and clever. When Saget's like, Vega's the greatest cage fighter since Iron Fist. Well, what happened to Iron Fist? He retired and became me.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually kind of a funny, good delivery.
It's clever.
It's clever.
Yeah.
But then the minute after that, we're about ready to finally see a fight. We're ready. And dude, we got Vega and Ryu in a cage ready to go.
Not exactly a street.
No.
But people do fights there.
They do fight. Vega's home stage was in a cage, okay?
Yeah.
And he could climb it. And we always thought Vega was a girl because he had long hair. So.
I haven't played. Yeah.
Anyway, we're about ready to get it, and then the movie gives us Jean-Claude Van Damme arresting everyone right before the fight's going to happen. You got it. You have to give us this fight.
It's like we were saying, once an action scene is happening, and it's not even like a fight, it's just interrupted by people getting captured.
Yes, dude.
It's all that happens. It's literally all that happens.
He is the Jean-Claude Van Damme gives us the literal crashing of this movie, of everything we wanted it to be, and it's the figurative becomes the literal of him just crashing this out.
This scene is literally him showing up late on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like written in script form. It's like, okay, well, I guess he's not showing up today. You guys want to do a fight scene maybe? Like, oh yeah, we don't have any time, but like, yeah, let's just give it a shot. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, we're filming. This is going great. Okay, yeah, put that camera there. Oh, that's a cool move. Let's just like
I want to be in the movie.
I'm here
ready.
now.
I'm ready.
Write me in, but Jean, you're not supposed to be here till 5 o'clock. Write me into something.
Yeah.
Because I'm here.
All right, guys, I guess we're gonna do his scenes.
Sorry, guys. I thought we had something real special here, but now we're going to have to do this. Great. Yeah, you just destroyed the actual set, so I guess we're going to have to work with that, too.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of, like, the amount of characters, too, DeSouza was, like, the writer and director, was trying so hard with Capcom to just be like, guys, 7. Okay?
Yeah.
7 characters. I'm telling you. And he gave examples. He's like, there's 7 dwarves. There's a reason there's 7 dwarves. There's a reason it's the Magnificent 7. People can, like, at 7, modern audiences can't discern like characters after that, you know. And they're like, no, we have to have all of them in there. So a lot of this, I think, is Capcom's doing, to be honest, because they wanted the representation of their video game in a movie form, where it's just like it's not too adaptable. Obviously, is what we're seeing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's once you start getting to that number of like introductions, like think about the characters that kind of come in introductions after that, like T-Hawk
and Cammy, or you're just kind of like, huh?
Yeah, like Cammy at least gets kind of is I think is snuck in there.
Yeah,
but like T-Hawk, no way.
There's no storyline for T-Hawk, but they say his name 40 times just so you know it's T-Hawk.
Yeah, DJ, another one. It's just like, dude,
who cares?
You just basically rewrote the guy from Spaceballs, Michael Winslow or whatever his name is. You basically just rewrote that guy. Even Zangief, who is a pretty big like bad guy in the video game, feels like just a throwaway.
I would argue that I think Zangief is the best person in this movie.
So again,
who's that one?
He's the Russian guy with the beard.
Oh, right on.
Big
Okay.
Russian guy. He has his moments near the end, But otherwise, it's just like he's got.
There
like,
he is.
He's like comic relief.
That's
He is, but that's why I love it.
That is Andrew Bierniarski.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his last name, but he I've never seen him in anything else, and I really haven't seen his face in anything else, only because he's Leatherface in the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's right. Okay.
I just recognized that name, and he was on 100 Scariest Movie Moments. So, and he's got like this big neck. He's always like talking about horror movies like
he's
this.
fucking huge.
It's cool. Yeah.
Did you notice that Zangief has a wedding ring on?
No.
So he's wearing a wedding ring the whole movie, and it just really my mind kept drifting while I was watching the movie into like alternate Confused Breakfast universe. Like, at some point Zangief's gonna go home to his wife, and he's truly a loving family man. Like he's just there to provide for his kids.
He's just there for a job, man.
Dude, he gets Sundays off every Sunday. They go to the park. They fucking hang out in Thailand, go down to the fish market and stuff like that. Like my brain, this movie never would fully grasp me, like to be like, let's go. Because again, we're having that fight scene ended quickly. We're having this prison break scene, which is like super great. But then we have to watch like Chun-Li do her stuff. And that's where my mind kept floating away to different fun scenarios.
Yeah.
Than this whole movie.
And
as it would go.
that is Andrew Bierniarski.
Yes.
Okay.
Zangief.
Because later on in the film, he's like, "You've been getting paid."
It's funny.
It is funny. He has most of the funniest lines.
He does.
I agree with you.
does.
Yeah.
He's got. In fact, there's the one part that I love so much from Zangief.
Is it the
That was beautiful.
stop the tape? Is what he's or rewind?
Oh,
it?
yeah.
when he says change the channel.
channel.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really funny, dude. And that whole scene, it's actually great when M. Bison does that big speech about I was hoping to face Guile personally on the battlefield.
Yeah.
One gentleman warrior to another in respectful combat. Then I would snap his spine. And even before that, DJ goes, you should be happy he's dead. He goes, on the contrary, I mourn. He goes, okay. And then that is when you get that was beautiful by Zangief. I mean, this was shit I hated so much when I first saw this movie, but now I'm like, these are my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's because you wanted the movie to be as serious as you took the video game.
Correct.
But it didn't, and so it was disappointing.
Yes, it was like irreverent that
yeah.
they didn't take it seriously.
Yeah. So you're like, but now you can kind of look back on it or watch it again and be like, it's kind of just a funny interpretation of it. Like, again, another buddy duo thing. DJ and Zangief are like fucking Pinky and the Brain. Just give me a fucking thing of that.
It's pretty good.
I like DJ too. I mean, is he Jamaican in the game?
Yeah.
Don't know, maybe, I guess.
I don't even know why I asked.
But he is. He's from Jamaica.
I believe.
Did you know that in the game, Guile is American and he's not from Brussels?
He's actually doesn't have an accent.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Is
did
what
you
they
know
say.
that?
I thought they cast Jean-Claude specifically because he's from Brussels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Turns out,
yeah.
it's not.
Interesting.
Also,
I know.
E Honda was from Japan,
E Honda
Is
was
that
a
right?
not
Japanese.
from the Philippines.
Yeah, no, it was from Hawaii. Whatever. Didn't they say that? He's like he was like
They just changed it.
he's from the Hawaiian Islands
Yeah.
in this movie. He's literally Japanese.
He's a sumo wrestler from Japan.
And then
That's the guy from 50 First Dates, by the way.
yeah, it is. And he's also the guy who says "Welcome to Race Wars," and in Fast and Furious.
What?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, he sure does play a Japanese guy great. So
he was also Big Ed Turtleston or something like that in basketball.
Damn.
Yeah, my mother's dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I guess that's why she didn't move around a lot.
DJ. I recognize him. I'm pretty sure he's from Return of the Living Dead, and I think Friday the 13th: A New Beginning.
yeah,
So
was he
fun.
Jamaican in that?
No.
Okay.
No,
Oh.
I think he's an American.
Did he have a
actor.
rat tail in that?
I think he had like not James Brown.
Soul Glow.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just let your soul
You
glow.
guys remember that movie? That movie's good.
That was a good one. We should watch that again.
There was also a great, because you have this kind of fun prison break scene. I like fairly good action of the movie. But how long was Guile under that sheet in the morgue?
I know, right? Like,
Dude. Well, and when he gets shot, because this is all a ruse.
Yeah.
We have to remember this is all a ruse. And like when he gets shot, like Chun-Li calls over the paramedics. It's like, come check him out. They just put a blanket over him immediately.
Yeah, there's
You almost think she's in on it, but clearly she's not.
Yeah.
I do like to think that Guile was just hanging out and they were just staying in the morgue for a couple days.
Yeah.
But then they heard Chun-Li coming and he's like, oh, fuck.
Well,
we
then-
have to fuck with her. We have to fuck with her.
have to
Get out.
fuck with
Okay, shut up. Okay, she covered. Okay. Like, that's the only way that
hell's
this
that noise?
made sense to me.
It's 100% true. It's like
He's
this
been in there for 48 hours.
This happened 2 days ago. Like, it's like, should we go get Guile? It's like, no. He's pretty sure someone's gonna come and try him.
He
Like,
told me that he wants to scare at least one person with this ruse. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. He will be there until someone comes in and looks at him,
he
okay?
said it's part of his master plan. I don't get it, but okay.
Fucking it. Who cares? We
He
got a couple
does this
days
all
off.
the time. It's just you. I'm sorry. It just happens to be you.
It's just you. I'm so sorry.
Like they didn't even check him if he was like breathing or not.
No, they just
At
like
all.
they just run in.
Yeah.
They have a stretcher thing.
Dead.
Done.
And
You know
that's,
the white blanket means dead.
Oh yeah.
that's a very Dumb and Dumber moment. What if he shot you in the head? They gave me this bulletproof vest and these squibs. What if he shot you in the head? Well, that was a risk we were willing to take, Colonel Guile.
Okay.
Yeah, like this gun that he got. Like did they put blanks in the gun?
No, I don't think so. I think those are real. I think it was bulletproof vest with like blood packets in
Are
it.
you sure? Because that bulletproof vest was this big. Like it didn't even cover his chest.
And we don't know if Ken has ever fired a gun. And we don't know, let alone has he ever fired a gun with his left hand from a moving truck on a dirt street with other people shooting at him.
Maybe he's a lefty.
What if he got shot?
Yeah. Yeah, he's firing, and there's literally like 100 soldiers around. What are these fucking stormtroopers? They can't hit shit. Like,
What if
what's going on?
Saget didn't sit in the middle seat where the window looked out front to see where Guile was to get shot?
Right.
Then Saget wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if Saget couldn't necessarily see that he got shot, so he couldn't do this whole maneuver? Yeah.
And he was sitting in the back of the truck the whole
Yes.
time, so
It's
that
like-
is very plausible.
Yeah. It's
Actually,
just
more likely.
it's just like, he's just easily convinced this whole time. And then, by the way, again, Vega, he's just there.
Vega's
Yeah.
just there.
He's just there, and he's just like, lot of
I don't think
nostril
Vega says a
flaring.
word, does Vega?
I don't think he does.
I like that he made his own claw in prison.
Dude, did you see that?
the fuck?
Oh my god!
See, okay, listen.
He
Again,
it's like you could have just made a shiv. He's like, no,
No.
this is
Free.
this is important.
but that's what I hated as a kid. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Why would he do that? But that's so funny to me that he had to have a claw made out of
Dude,
straws.
doesn't
or
do
something.
anything with it.
if you look at this like a Zucker Brothers, like Jim Abrams, like production type of a movie, it's pretty fucking
Well,
funny.
listen, on my interview with angry video game nerd James Rolfe, he talked about how he'd seen this movie like 3 times and thought it was terrible. But then he went in a movie theater with 100 other
Oh,
people and
yeah.
watched this, and he said it completely changed the way he thought about this movie.
Makes a lot.
This
of
is a
sense.
group movie for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should have got together.
Damn it.
Well, let's do scene 3. So Chun-Li, Balrog, and E-Honda attempt to blow up Bison, but their cover is blown by Ryu and Ken. Bison returns to his base and inducts Ken and Ryu into his organization. He imprisons Honda and Balrog and takes Chun-Li captive. Ryu and Ken later break out Honda and Balrog, but they're all rendered unconscious by Bison using gas. Back at AN headquarters, Guile plans an unauthorized assault after AN leadership chooses to negotiate with Bison. He leads a strike team to Bison's base via stealth boat.
Again, with more of the comedy when they're showing Bisonopolis.
Dude.
And he's like mapping it out. He's like, I think the food court should be bigger. Amazing.
It's incredible.
That's fun. That
What
is
is
fun.
this? A compound for ants. Like that's what I expected next, man.
Well, and humanize the goons. M. Bison really genuinely does want world peace.
I know.
And he just knows that the only way to establish it is to have a world order and a massive genocide of people to get there. But there will be world peace eventually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he wants to make the exchange rate for his people incredible. He wants to have food courts. He wants to have great buildings like
food court.
Dude, the food court's going to be incredible.
Currency.
His own currency, man.
Yeah.
Like this is going to work out really good for the people of Bisonopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I think
Pack
so.
sound good?
Bisonica.
Bisonica.
You think you should have a third party with Bison?
Yeah, dude.
Third party with Bison.
M. Bison's going to be our third political party, dude. I'd vote for him.
Bison party.
That actually sounds pretty awesome.
Sounds dope. But
Bison
like
sticks for everybody.
Can we just say
Sticks.
Can we just say like how like inconvenient of a build it is to make the building in the shape of his like insignia? It's like, you know what? There's a lot of unusable space here.
But see,
Bison. Any
the green
architect
space,
will
man.
tell you.
He's keeping green space alive, dude. He's like building it within the
yeah,
jungle.
you know, over here is going to be like where all the chessboards are.
Yeah.
Yes.
For people to play chess.
The giant chessboards.
Yeah. And then over
Okay.
here is going to be like, you know, the
lazy river.
the lazy river, but the adjacent to that is going to be the
It's gonna have a
topiary zoo.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the lazy river goes down to the swim up bar and next to the food court.
Sounds
The
awesome.
second food court, by the way. He's doing pretty good.
You're not going to need to leave.
He's
And
just
got
designing
everything.
malls.
He's gonna bring
That's
in
all he's
like
doing.
he's gonna bring in a Panda Express, but it's gonna be the good one.
It's
like
gonna be
the
yeah.
authentic Panda
Real
Express.
panda.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a real
dude.
panda made with bits of real panda.
So
And
good.
orange.
Yeah,
Orange panda.
it's he just doesn't get the concept.
Yeah.
So he's got mandarin oranges and like chopped up panda. And he's just in a bowl. He's like, I had it imported myself. Yeah,
He's an artist, dude.
He's an
talking
artist.
when you were talking about the groups earlier, so it's E Honda, Balrog, and Chun-Li.
Okay.
They might be the most fascinating group
You think so?
of the entire movie, in my opinion, because like they're TV news anchors. They're Chun-Li's a TV news anchor. The others work for her, I guess. But then Balrog is the boxer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then E Honda is the sumo guy
From Hawaii.
from Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's very important to discern that.
You almost made Yokozuna. Yeah, but then M. Bison and his people, they ruined my career. Yeah, and they ruined my boxing career too. It's like
Good to know.
Because I'm a boxer.
okay. It's
Good to
like,
know.
Great. Thanks for letting us in on that.
But
Oh,
they-
that's why you hate him. Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
They do those things, and they're also like a carnival side act.
yeah.
Like, there's a lot going on.
But it's implied that they just did that to infiltrate the thing.
It's
But
a-
that
it's
you
a-
have to know the tricks.
It's implied that they hired that like show, and they just like took their
Yes.
costumes, right? Okay.
They practiced this 10 times over. This is part of Chun-Li's master plan. We're going to infiltrate him as a circus act. It's like, do we really need to do all that? Are you sure? You're going to put you in a barrel. Okay, you're going to put me in a barrel, and then you're going to cut it in half. It's like, we don't know how to do any of this. What the fuck is going on?
I don't. So it is a secret. I don't know why I'm saying it's no secret. I've never said this before, but Chun-Li was my favorite character in Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was the character that I beat the game with.
Okay.
I loved her moves the best. I thought she was the most well-rounded
Oh, yeah.
character. Had some great thighs as a young kid. I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Chun-Li is my least favorite character in this movie.
Okay.
I just dislike everything about who they chose for the role, how the role evolved, what the character did in the movie. It was my least favorite.
It seems like she's more of a driving force in this movie than Guile.
Yeah.
And I just don't. It's really hard to buy in because again, she has this like almost villainous style monologue while she's under the captivity of Bison, and like is like walking around like strutting around like she's got the upper hand or something. And she talks to Guile that way. She talks to Ryu and Ken that way. It's just like I said earlier, it's like, you're not a bad guy, right? Like, you're not supposed to be a bad guy. You feel like a bad guy. And again, it's not a great vehicle for this movie. her revenge story.
Which we still don't really know about.
Oh, that when she said all that, I was like, where's Raul Julia going with this like negligee version of his like outfit that he's putting on? That's all I could think about. It doesn't, that none of the exposition matters.
Okay, Sean, you nailed it. I never
it.
thought about it this way, but during this entire scene of this super important dialogue from Chun-Li, you don't hear a word of it because she doesn't deliver it well. The dialogue's bad, but then you've got Raul Julia just doing interesting things like his rack of hats. He's got all these different color hats and he puts his gloves. It almost looks like his gloves are peering over the thing. Then you go and you see that he's apparently a painter. And
it looks like a Gacy painting.
He painted a painting of himself that looks like John Wayne Gacy. And I care more about every single one of those details than a single fucking word out of Chun-Li's mouth.
100%. He looks like Hugh Hitler.
Prop.
Hang on a second.
Hugh Hitler. He does. He's got
Adolf Hefner.
He's Adolf Hefner. There we go. No, I couldn't even get that one out. How can you do that one? You can't do all those other names? Okay.
I made that one up.
That was good.
I like that one.
What's your prop, man?
Oh, my prop is the painting of him. It's the painting of M. Bison, but it's the one that he looks like the Napoleon ripoff.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
I want that painting.
Put it on the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
I want in this exact same scene when he's making drinks for her. He's got like they look like they have like spikes coming out of them, and it's got like a M. Bison logo straw coming out of it. Little tropical tiki drink. I want those glasses.
M. Bison the tiki torch. M. Bison the doll.
Well, and there isn't a lot of detail. In fact, when they go to back to Dalsum, the lab chairs have his logo on the back of it. They're like made out of a big logo.
Yeah.
That shit's cool.
That is cool. I mean, and sticking with the best character in the movie, I gotta go. A prop from him is Bisonopolis model.
You
like
want
right outside our studio here.
Yeah.
Just right out there so we can hang and have pizza on it.
Under glass.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the skull fireplace in his office, by the way. Did you see that dope ass skull
one of the
fireplace?
best shots in the movie.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Before all this is they do the whole act, E Honda and the crew, but the barrel that they put her in, the cap says Capcom, kind of fun. But I guess speaking more on like, there's an action scene and then they get captured. This literally happens right here. Like they blow up the cargo of like military or like arms, and they run away. The next scene is just them walking inside of Bison's thing,
Sean,
captured already.
captured.
We didn't even see what happened.
There's 30 seconds in between these two scenes of just terrible like stuff on screen, like words on screen, and like security footage of them being covered.
Yep.
You can't even read any of this, and it had to be something where they just forgot to shoot it or something because they make it seem like they got away and all of a sudden they're captured.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Yeah, they go from being tortured, like the whole whip scene and stuff, finding Ryu and Ken, and then like getting uncaptured. Then they're all like, "Oh, we're all on the same team." Then they go to
This happens twice.
Yeah, and then they go and they get captured again because of the gas. And you're just like, guys,
oh my god, yeah, it's not even 15 minutes before they get captured again.
Like they didn't even make it out, and they didn't breathe any fresh air before they breathed that gas.
This same scene where they do get captured again just continues on the boringness of Chun-Li, because again, we haven't heard a word she said, and then we still have Bison giving these incredible, like, for you for me it was a Tuesday, like incredible line delivery. But then Chun-Li's trying to tell us that for the last 20 years of her life, every single move and minute of her entire life has been dedicated to getting to this moment to avenge her father. And the one thing that takes her out of it is someone going, Chun-Li, we're over here. We made it. And she, huh? My friends are here. Like, the most unbelievable thing in this movie is that she actually even heard her friends and refrained from killing the man she's been trying to kill for 20 years to be like, my friends are here.
Just kicked his ass real good.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
Like you had him.
It was a great little nod too, that like he says, you know, the entire time you've even been here doing all this, you've been hiding behind your sumo and your boxer.
Yeah.
You've never even thrown a punch since you've been in this country.
You are harmless.
Are harmless. Yeah, it's like, oh, haven't thrown a punch because Chun-Li does all the kicking.
Duh, bro.
Wow, what a nice little nod there.
That is a great nod.
I
That is
bet that's
good.
what they meant.
In between all this bad stuff, you get to like we had talked about towards the beginning of this was like the gathering of people and them like realizing that they're on the same team. I think that is well done, and it's just sandwiched in between like, well, how do we get them there? Well, we capture them all. You know what I mean? Like that's where it gets annoying. But in between that is like a cool way to introduce these characters to each other.
Yeah.
You know, like Chun-Li spits in the face of Ken, and like
dehydrated.
yeah, and then like after that they're good. That is kind of clever to me, but it's just the way they get them there. It just seems like, well, they didn't have enough time to do any of it,
Or they just never shot it because they were rewriting it so often.
Well,
They did it. They shot a capture scene beforehand. And they're like, well, how can we get this done?
let's just do
like,
that again.
Let's just do that again
Yeah.
today. Like, wait, we did that yesterday. It'll be fine. Whatever.
Well, we didn't see him get captured.
Yeah.
these kids won't
handcuffs.
give a shit.
Yeah.
I do love Balrog and E Honda inside of the jail cell there too. Like that's kind of a fun interaction. Like first of all, Balrog's like Balrog's like, how come you don't feel it? He goes, well, we're sumo. We're taught that our mind and body can be in different places at the same time. Well, next time your mind leaves, go bring back a pizza. Well, don't you mean when your body leaves? Because okay, that's fine anyway.
Yeah, nope.
Anyway,
Yep.
but then I never heard this line as a kid. They're in the jail. He goes, give me a hand. He goes, dude, we've only been in jail 2 hours. Maybe next month. Like referring to jerking him off in jail.
Yeah.
That's a funny joke, man.
Oh man.
They're guys.
Yeah.
There's guys
guys.
guys being dudes.
Chun-Li would never understand this.
No,
Yeah, no.
She doesn't get us, man.
No,
She doesn't
we
get
can't.
us.
We can't be like this when she's around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all business when she comes around.
Yeah.
Oh, revenge.
Hey, speaking of terrible transitions in the movie, he gets in the stealth boat. We're in the stealth boat.
You mean Thunder in Paradise?
You mean Thunder in Paradise? You mean Airwolf meets Thunder in Paradise?
Pretty sick boat.
It's a sick boat. For some reason, we need to know that he's thinking about Blanca still and how great of friends they were.
Yeah.
So he pulls a mini VHS tape out of his pocket and puts it into a mini VHS player in the boat.
Mike, I thought he was pulling it out to like watch videos of his wife and kids or something.
No.
I'm like any other like Bloodsport would do this 100%. And no, it's Blanca.
Sean, it is 2 seconds of a picnic with him and Blanca and his wife. 2 seconds.
It is.
What the fuck just happened?
Mini VHS players were a standard issue on that.
Oh, yeah.
Stock option on that boat. So yeah, that model of boat, anyways, and yeah, it's like he turns on some tunes first off. It's just like. It's like he turned on like a Pure Moods like cassette tape or something.
And
yeah. Moby's coming up next, you know. And then he pops in this VHS. Like, it's just fucking rough, dude.
And they don't even like go back to the flashback. It shows it for 2 seconds.
Well, and we didn't.
And that's it.
We had zero time to get familiar with Blanca's real face.
No.
He was like put in that thing immediately, you know, and then turned into what God knows what.
We'll get to Blanca.
Well,
Okay.
Again, like there's this whole realization moment of like in the beginning where he's like,
Charlie, we're coming.
I'm coming for you, Charlie. I'm coming for you.
We're coming.
I'm gonna get
Charlie,
you.
I'm coming. It says it like 5-6 times.
Yeah, and he says Charlie a bunch, and then he goes around and he like, M. Bison goes over and he looks at the dog tags. He's like, Carlos Blanca, Charlie. It's like, no.
No.
No, that's not how it translates.
How'd you get
man.
there? How'd you get to that?
Like, what are you talking about? What that one of these things is not like the other here. Okay.
If I met a Carlos and I was like in Mexico and he was like, "Hey, my name's Carlos," I'm like, "Oh, can I call you Charlie?"
Can I call you Charlie?
I really can't discern. I cannot say Carlos. It's against my heritage.
Wouldn't your first instinct just be Carl? Like
that doesn't even work.
I mean,
let
come
alone
on.
Charlie.
Like,
We don't have a problem with saying Carlos. Can we just say Carlos?
I know. I'm just saying. That's just,
I know.
If your name's gonna go to like, what could be the nickname here? It's like, no, Carl makes a lot more sense to me. Carl
I can call you
Lopes.
Ka.
Dude,
Carlos is pretty short already.
And guys, this stealth boat, like I took time. I stopped and I go, well, what are they trying to do here? When they are switching to stealth mode and they have to pull down the visor on their helmets and then like violently shake when it turns to stealth mode, I still have no clue what was happening.
Can't track the vibrations like that. Yep.
It's tremors.
It's tremors.
That's what it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to make this cool.
No.
They had the coolest possible feature of this movie, this dope-ass boat, because we're not getting special moves from the characters.
Nope.
We've already established that, so give us maybe like a cool boat. Nope, we can't do that.
And he's seeing the invisible boat
That's not how stealth works.
like come after them, and he's like, oh, what is that? And it's just like waves being parted like really fucking fast.
Guys, the B-2 bombers that we've been hearing so much about, they're stealth bombers. They don't disappear.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just can't.
It's not Wonder Woman plane.
It's not Wonder Woman's plane here. It's not the invisible girl from Fantastic Four. Like, it's not what it is here. Like, it's like, oh, it's like active camouflage. It's like, no, it's
Why
not.
does that make you look like you're going into warp speed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Activate stealth mode.
Ah!
She's gone to plaid. Like, what
Yeah,
the
no
fuck?
shit.
So scene 4, at the base, Dalsum's secret efforts to sabotage Blanca's transformation are discovered. During a fight, Blanca is released and kills a guard to protect Dalsum. Guile enters the lab and nearly kills Blanca, but Dalsum convinces him not to. Meanwhile, Bison prepares to kill the hostages, but Guile intervenes and begins a one-on-one fight. Fights between Street Fighters break out all over the base.
I gotta tell you, going into this, it's like this is. Guile even says at one point, "This isn't about your personal revenge story," and then Chun-Li walks away. It's about mine. And it's just like, okay. So
But
this entire thing,
do we ever find out what it is?
It's a no. Because Charlie just happened to get captured, so then he's just like this was like this was 72 hours ago.
Are they referring to is that what he's referring to as his personal revenge vendetta?
That's all I can think of because he carries around that VHS tape in his pocket.
But dude, let's just say that you're correct.
Okay.
And that Guile has quit his job and defied worldwide orders to go beat M. Bison's ass because of his friend Charlie.
Yep.
Who he doesn't necessarily know has been turned into a Blanca machine yet. He just thinks he's captured.
Right.
Then when he does discover Charlie, he wastes 0.2 seconds before deciding to shoot him in the head and kill him.
First thing out of his mouth is just like, help me. He's like, I'll help you.
Maybe. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. We're rewriting the story. So Charlie was having an affair with Guile's wife.
Okay.
And Charlie doesn't know that Guile knew about it. And Guile's main plan was to get Charlie alone to kill him and torture him. But instead, Charlie got captured by M. Bison, so he now, his personal vendetta was not against M. Bison, it was against Charlie to find him and shoot him in the head.
Took away his vengeance.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's my backstory.
I like that.
M. Bison was just a ruse, a terrible, terrible ruse to go and lead a bunch of people into all-out war and battle, bloody battle, so he could just kill that guy who's already being tortured.
Help me. I will.
No time.
If you stop it, you don't have the right. Well, who are you?
Well, what gives you the right?
See this?
Yeah.
That's my right.
That's my right.
That's what he should have said if he was
right.
real Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's right.
You know what
my
I'm saying?
safety.
I saw a guy in line at the gas station the other day. The back of his shirt said, "You can give peace a chance. I'll be there with my gun to cover you in case it doesn't work."
Okay.
That's a lot.
And I feel like he was on this team.
That's a lot.
It was a lot of words, and it was outlined by a rifle. It was like all in the shape of a rifle.
got to.
Yeah, it had to, man. It's cool.
That was probably a Facebook ad he got that he saw that shirt and was like,
And
"Fuck
let me let you guess if there were sleeves on that T-shirt or not.
not a single one.
no.
Not a shred of sleeve.
Not
on that
even
t-shirt.
one?
Not even one shred.
Not
man.
even one sleeve.
Could be cool if there
Not a
was one.
sleeve in sight.
So, Blanca,
'Kay.
Blanca.
what are we doing here?
What the fuck?
It's,
So,
This
Sean,
is-
in the video game, have you ever seen Blanca before? Like,
yeah, he's like, I see him like long.
he's like a
red hair.
feral beast from
Yeah.
Brazil with like long hair and hunched over, and he's green, right?
Yeah.
This is how they decided that we were going to get him in the movie.
He looks like it's the Incredible Hulk if he was played by Carrot Top.
Correct. That is maybe the best description I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, so
you,
I'm just
dude.
waiting for him to like start pulling out props. It's just like, fuck, dude.
He's modern day ripped Carrot Top.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Incredible Hulk pretending he's Carrot Top pretending to be the Incredible Hulk wearing a Blanca Halloween costume.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
This is like literally the worst makeup I've ever seen. And this is actually what pissed me off because I know what Blanca looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the game a whole bunch, but I know what that motherfucker looks like. It's
Yeah.
the coolest one
He's
in the
iconic.
game.
He's the coolest one.
And they fucked it up by doing this.
Sean, my biggest memory of watching this as a kid was how bad this was, and I think this was the complete end of anything I cared about in this movie.
I mean,
Even if I was hanging on, this Blanca stuff was what made me go, fuck this.
I don't blame you at all. I mean, this is like actually bad. This now, like the rest of the movie looks pretty good. You know what I mean? Like the effects look all right. They're passable. This took nothing.
Nothing.
A lot of it you would like they can get away with. There was no effort.
No budget.
There was
Let's
no
put into
budget
this.
for this. That all went to Van Damme's coke, and they would have been better off just covering this guy in coke
Yeah.
rather than this green bullshit.
And then at least like let's do something with him in the movie,
Yeah.
and they don't even do anything.
Not a damn thing
Not one
comes
thing.
out of this whole thing. Like, not a thing. By the way, the original, the whole thing of Blanca, in the video game was he was like in an airplane accident,
Yes.
and then got hit with like some sort of chemical or something. They basically took that for Dulcim in the movie and like,
Yeah.
well, let's just have him pushed into this thing. He'll get doused in something, and it'll be, then that'll make
And
it
it'll be
bald.
so subtle that later on when he arrives with no hair,
Yeah.
you'll be like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And you'll have to go back and be like, oh, he looks like kind of some chemicals fell on right there.
Oh shoot, that's right. Yep, he got some dripped on him. They could probably wiped off with some paper towels, but that's fine.
And
Fuck
this philosophy moment from Dulcim is just pure horseshit. Like when he's like, he still retains the capacity to know good, but he also knows very much evil. And you want to kill him for that? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah, look at that guy. He's really dangerous. He has 90% increased in muscle mass, even though we can't tell.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to kill him.
I know-
Really, he
I
looks
know.
the same.
I know my
Except
friend
green.
Carlos, who definitely loved going by Charlie.
Yeah,
I know him, and he would not want this for himself.
Right.
Okay,
His
I'm putting
wife's
him down.
not going to stick with him through this.
No.
he's
And you know why? I'm digging on that now.
He's going to kill him.
He's like, dude. It is just it's just a major problem that
This is a major
a
problem.
major fucking problem of this movie that it's like the first thought of anything upon seeing this thing is like, nah, Jesus Christ. It's just first
And he's like, friend, baby Ruth.
like
Fucking terrible, man.
yeah, dude, he oh my god. It's just It's just not good.
Are you gonna punch Blanca's face?
No, I can't even punch him because I don't think.
I kind of want to punch. What's
If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
I kind of want to punch the doctor, whatever his name is. Dalsum, when he post, wet chemicals.
When he's bald.
Because I was like, I saw him come back, and I don't think we saw him, like, after he tells him no to not kill
We
Blanca,
don't see him again until
he comes back when he's all bald, and I'm like, I guess it was the chemicals. He looks like a completely different person. I want to punch that version of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this guy. He shows up 2 different times. He's one of Saget's men, and he's the really, really ugly kind of Eastern European guy with longer hair. He's in the background of a couple scenes with Saget. He has one of the most punchable faces ever. And anybody out there listening knows who I'm talking about. You'll get it for sure.
Okay. I think the one that I want to punch is the one. He's the other guy. He's the other one who's sitting there. He's in the lab with Dalsim reading the magazine.
That guy.
That guy. I want to punch that guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's just like, it's the worst. It's like the laziest type of a character to have in a fucking movie.
It is.
It's just the guy who sits with magazine, and then like who's kind of beefy, so then he can push the lab guy around. What a lazy fucking engine to have him like pushed into chemicals.
Yep.
Like, it's just like, oh no, I got to stop you from doing the normal shit, and then he pushes him into it's so upsetting to me.
But even that guy is doing more work than Jean-Claude Van Damme in the entire movie.
Probably right.
And like it irked me watching that guy, because I'm just like, that's the most like B-level actor performance I've ever seen in my life. But then I'm like, but he's actually doing something.
He's doing it.
Yeah.
There's also, again, as much as I keep falling into this I hate this movie moment, then there's just clever things. Like, I hated the fact that there was always a PA announcer throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
But then when you actually started zooming in on what it said, at one point during this huge fight scene, the PA announcer comes on and says, "Attention all troopers, remember that maintaining your health plan benefits is your responsibility." Like, it's still a corporate workplace,
dude.
Of there, and they're talking about health plan benefits need to be maintained because there's a huge fight going on.
Hey, you make sure, okay, because it's going to happen. All-out war is going to break out. Thank God they got full benefits.
It's really funny.
Even earlier, he's like, "Did you know that there's a curfew?" He's like, "No one tells me anything." Literally a split second later, over the speaker of the helicopter, "There's a curfew in effect. Everybody, everybody caught outside is going to be shot." All right. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Oh, jeez.
It's literally like a Zucker joke.
It is
sometimes in this movie.
Well, let's do the final scene. So scene 5, Guile appears to defeat Bison by electrocuting him, but Bison is revived by his battlesuit's built-in life support and weapon system. He gains the upper hand in the rematch using electrical attacks and levitation boots, but Guile ultimately kicks him into a monitor wall that explodes, killing him, triggering the destruction of the base. The hostages are rescued and heroes escape. Dalsim and Blanca choose to remain behind. Zangief helps the good guys. One of the worst dialogue moments of this entire movie is Ken and Ryu when they have their little split up fight.
Oh yeah.
They're like, "Come on, man, we gotta go. We can get something else." He's like, "No, I found something worthwhile." What, Ryu? What did you find worthwhile? What was his determining factor in all this?
And the next time we see him is coming down the stairs and he gets like cut off by Saget.
Yeah.
Right? That's like,
yeah.
Apparently he was going to get whatever he was talking about.
Whatever his
which is in the
worthwhile
locker room.
Yeah. Actually, that's really funny that they have locker rooms in this facility for all their employees. That's really funny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, this they have humanized the goons for us.
This movie has done every bit of humanizing for us.
It's pretty great. Like, they have their own facilities. Like, they probably have like men's rooms and like women's locker rooms too.
Yeah, this is the 90s, so of course.
Yeah, they're taking care of everybody.
You got to separate.
Equal
100%.
opportunity. workforce here that Bison's got going, you know. So hey, you got to give him credit.
And there's levels. You can level up. You know, you can get promoted.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lower level goon which just gets you your uniform.
Yep.
Who Ryu and Ken see in the locker room when they're passing by, which is another funny scene actually when there's like, "Hail Bison, yeah, hey, what's up? Oh, cool uniform." You know, that was kind of funny. But you know, you get to like another grunt level and you get like the mask.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Like, I want to get to the mask level.
Fuck yeah, mask
Yeah.
level. You don't have to do your hair that
No,
day.
yeah,
You just show up
absolutely.
with the mask.
Yeah. And if you don't do your hair and you're not a grunt, you will get shot.
Yep.
And then like slowly but surely every character is turning into their outfit from the game.
Yeah.
When does Balrog get gloves? Did they ever
Dude,
show that?
No.
Balrog all of a sudden is wearing a boxing outfit with gloves on.
It's like kind of the same. It feels like it's the same time when like Ryu and Ken get their gis
Yeah.
and stuff that you're just, but at the same time for that even seems kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Just that feels like Halloween costumes.
It does.
It starts to feel like Halloween costumes rather than like, oh, what we know them for, right?
Was it Vega?
Vega.
Weren't Vega and Ryu fighting in like a gym thing?
Yes, they were in the locker room, I thought.
Was Balrog not in there? Because that would have been perfect to pick up gloves because there was like a
Yeah.
punching bag and shit.
No, Sean.
See?
No,
You could have
Sean-
done it.
Sean,
That
stop.
would have been like
What are you
the
doing?
least bit.
What are you doing, Sean? Stop it.
Whoa.
You're right. All right. Sorry, guys.
Whoa. Dude, and
Sky wrote Die Hard.
By the way, when you can see him, there's like a shot when they're all kind of like sneaking away or sneaking on like a wall or something, and you can see Balrog's like blue tank top thing underneath like the shirt, the crummy shirt that he's wearing, and you're just like, it's like, why didn't you just take that shirt off in the first place? Why are you wearing multiple layers, man? This is like Indochina.
Yeah.
Basically where you're at. It's hot. Why are you wearing multiple layers, bro? Take it off. Fuck.
But what about this is the only fight scenes we get in this movie. And
Yeah.
what's kind of cool is there are some underlying moves done here. Like, I know you didn't play the game, but like none of the really, really special features, you know, the Hadoukens and shit are not done, which I don't know. Like, young me wanted to see sonic booms from Guile and Hadoukens, but I'm almost glad they didn't do it. And they just made it like a real world. If Street Fighter were real, this is what it would be like.
Yeah.
There's no special powers kind of a thing.
The only thing that holds that back is literally Blanca.
Yeah.
I mean, like, among probably other things too, but like that's the glaring one. It was just like, okay, but that's fantastical. If this movie's trying to be a little grounded, you know. But I agree with you because it would have just taken you out of the tone that they're trying to set through the entire movie and shoehorning him. It would just, at this point, is really what it is. They would shoehorn all these in. Would that piss you off more?
I don't know.
Like, try and go back when you first watched it. Would that make you happy if you saw
It probably would have made young me happy, but modern day critical Mike, like, no, I'm glad they did. In fact, the worst thing they did was Guile's flying kick out of the dungeon.
Yeah,
Like, that was the worst move that they made in this entire movie. Like, it made me laugh.
Isn't one of Bison's move like he?
Yes, and so he does those moves, but it's explained well. It's like, this is why he's able to do this.
I can fly.
Ah,
They also levitate me. Fucking
Dude.
so good.
It's the levitation things like that starts that's where I think that might actually answer your question a little bit too, because it seemed like a lazy way to get the fantastical stuff done.
Yeah.
Was using science
yeah.
to do it. You know what I mean? Like these levitation boots and stuff. It just seemed like, oh, okay, I guess we can do that now. It just doesn't, because it seems so out of left field because we haven't incorporated any of that up to this point.
No.
You know what I mean?
You know how everybody hated the new Mortal Kombat, but
Yeah.
like I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Because it was like it was a modern day version, finally giving me something that I was hoping for back in 95. I would love to see if they could do Street Fighter and give me the fantastical version.
They're doing it.
Are they?
Yep.
They're working on it.
Somebody clip this and send it to me in a year after I walk out of the theater and go, what the fuck was that? But I don't know. That's what I loved about the game. That is what people loved about Mortal Kombat was the special moves. I wanted to see it, but I'm glad that the tone of this movie didn't do it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. As far as like this movie goes, I'm like entertained at this point. Like I'm having a good time with it. Despite all its like weird, stupid like hiccups here and there, which, you know, after researching, I'm just like, oh, well, that makes sense because they had no time to do any of this. And it's unfortunate because a lot of it was held up by Raul Julia.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is a cool fight. Like it does well for me. All of the fights are okay. You see a couple, like I said, things like Vega will do the roll, like roll claw, like just subtle little movements of them actually doing the moves that we think that they can do in the show.
You have one very quick instance of Ryu doing the kick,
kind
the
of,
flying kick.
Yep.
It's
Guile's doing the flip kicks,
yes.
you know, on M. Bison. So I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
And I like as little as we do get of fight scenes, when they do happen, they're so heavily edited. Like there's like 7 editors on this fucking movie. And you can tell because like it's just so indiscernible from anything going on. It's like it's like Michael Bay editing, to be honest. Like, and I know it's because you can tell when they do that they have no time. Like
and also none of these people knew how to fight.
They were shooting this in like March. They had to get it out in December. Like what the fuck, man?
And no training, no like scene martial arts training to be like we're gonna rehearse this scene for months. They didn't even do that. They just go, just put your foot in the air and then we'll edit it.
Yeah, people get hurt that way, you know, and some shit did happen on set, and I don't know, that's where it gets like lazy to me, and it's hard to call it lazy just because they just literally had no time. But it's a movie called Street Fighter. When there are fights, you can't see a goddamn thing happen.
Yep. It's true. You can't see anything happening. By the way, the most quintessential way to finish off a bad guy of kicking him into his own TV screens to electrocute him.
Yeah.
Like, and then it doesn't even do him in.
No.
He comes back and he's got
he shredders out of in the end credits.
He shredders out.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Yeah, he comes out.
M. Bison's hand goes,
and he's got electrical powers now at this point too, where he can. He's going
Raiden.
Yeah, he's going full Raiden, full Sith Lord on these dudes, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot, man. It's just really a lot.
And they make a cool. I didn't know this, but like at the very end, like as cheesy as it is, they all pose, and every one of their poses is the exact pose that they would have got from the end credits of either Street Fighter 2 New Challenger or Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like the Chun-Li one with the legs back and that's actually, as cheeseball as that is, I fucking loved it. I loved it, man.
In freeze frames too. You like this one.
Go ahead and clip this and show it to me at a later date. It's a freeze frame to end the movie of all of them doing their poses from a video game. I loved it.
Thought it was dope.
I
wanted it as my background on my computer.
Again, who's the character they didn't spend any time on?
Dude, the guy in the back left, the Asian guy. What character was that supposed to be?
A lot of them, I'm just like, what? Who's that?
Yes.
And like T-Bone or whatever.
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk.
Supposed to be a Native American. He wasn't. So
I kind of got that. But I'm like, that he was over here. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw him a few times.
Yep.
Is he part of the group?
Are you with us?
Yeah.
Are you?
Do you go here?
Do you go here?
Do you go here?
do you go here or?
It's kind of hoping I can hang out with you guys.
It's just like, where'd you get that headband? Is it not cool? Or is it cool I wear this?
I could take it off.
It's whatever, man. It's whatever. Just have my back. Okay, god damn it.
They're all gonna go work for Colonel Chi now on fucking wherever in Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas, yeah.
What's the name of the island there? Patusan.
Yeah,
Patusan.
yeah,
They're all gonna
because,
go
like,
because Bison's not here anymore, and they all have specific sets of skills. They're gonna go work on Patusan.
Everybody who like all the Shadaloo like army guys, the whole base blows up, and then it's like. Now what are we gonna do?
Sorry, Surf Ninjas was 93, so that is how M. Bison found his army. It was after Patusan was taken over.
Okay.
Colonel Chi's army was recruited by M. Bison
That makes perfect sense.
to go work for him.
Yeah.
In Shadaloo.
That makes perfect sense.
Shadaloo.
After the Surf Ninjas broke it all up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if that wasn't the case, that like what happened in Patusan where they had this just like exodus of workers just getting out of there, you know?
They went to Shadaloo.
They went to, okay.
Yeah, they went to Shadaloo. They went from Patusan to Shadaloo. I think that's a Beach Boys song.
I think it is.
Yeah. Patusan, Shadaloo, baby, what do we do? It's pretty good.
Anyway, have we dissected this movie with the modern eye, boys? Anything
think
else
so.
you want to say?
I have one thing I wanted to grace you guys with this because one of our favorite people in the world, Eric's Bad Movie Reviews, did in fact do a review for Street Fighter. I'll give some excerpts if you would like. We'll start from the beginning. The film Street Fighter contains surprisingly little fighting, and none of it takes place in the street. The end. What, you want more than that? Oy gewalt. Look, today we know that if a film is based on a video game, there's a 100% chance that it will be terrible. We have learned this from experience, but Street Fighter came out in 1994 when the genre was still young.
We didn't know this.
Exactly. So many hopeful, dewy-eyed young men approached the film eagerly, dreaming of a movie that would be coherent, entertaining, and well-produced, and feature a lot of absurdly costumed steroid users pummeling one another. You may well imagine their disappointment when they found that only the latter was in the cards. The opening credits inform us that the film is based on the video game Street Fighter 2, not the original Street Fighter. Of course, because that was just a silly game where two people fight each other. How could you make a movie out of that? Street Fighter 2, though, is a silly game where two people fight each other. Now we're talking. It's so true. Why does it have to be based on number 2? It doesn't.
It does. And like Street Fighter 2 didn't have the majority of these characters in it. All the next level of games from Street Fighter 2 brought in these new characters. Yes. Vega wasn't in Street Fighter 2.
No.
He was in Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So isn't it based on Street Fighter 2 Turbo? I don't know. But then Cammy wasn't in there, so it's based on Street Fighter 2, the next Secret of the Ooze.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see. The opening credits also inform us the costume worn by the villain named Bison was specially designed by Marilyn Vance. I noticed this in Judge Dredd, too, where the title character wore an outfit by Gianni Versace. Beware of action films whose major characters require their own costume designers.
Yep.
You know who else had his own costume designer? Liberace. Would you watch an action film with Liberace as the main character? Well, okay, you would.
Yeah.
But not for the right reasons.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, Street Fighter is about unrest in Southeast Asian country called Shadaloo, which you'll agree is the stupidest fictional country ever devised. Even Tolkien didn't make up geographical names that dumb. Shadaloo? Seriously? Remember when Homer Simpson had to think fast and create a name for some imaginary person, and he came up with this? What he came up with was Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo. Do you see where I'm going with this? Anyway, Shadaloo it is. Evil warlord General M. Bison has taken over, resulting in civil war. He wants $20 billion from the Allied nations. Possibly because filmmakers were under impression that the United Nations was a trademark or something. The last thing you want is to get sued by the United Nations, or more likely to have the United Nations file a non-binding resolution in mild language condemning your actions. Let's skip on. Let's see here. So at the end here, he says, Bison's figured out that all these new people are in his lair are spies and has thrown them into holding cells. When they break out, Balrog, E. Honda are wearing their boxing and sumo wrestling outfits respectively, leading to several thousand questions, such as, why, brother? And where were those costumes concealed? One doesn't like to think of someone keystering a pair of boxing gloves and trunks, but I doubt Bison provided them either. Anywho, as Guile and his team, which for some reason includes Kylie Minogue, attack the fortress from the outside, Chung Li, Ryu, Ken, Balrog, E. Honda attack from within. Various low-level hench persons are dispatched handily and without fanfare. Finally, Guile faces off against Bison, with the latter employing electricity to give himself the same powers he has in the video game, whereupon Guile grapples with him for some more and kills him anyway. Great. Like I said, in the first place, there's not much fighting, and none of it occurs in the street. I don't know what you were expecting. The end.
Eric's bad movie reviews. The man himself.
That's the man right there.
Well, we got to give it a final modern day rating. Sean, you've never seen this before. What were your thoughts?
You know, like I said in the episode, is despite all its flaws, some of it did kind of get with me a little bit. I would hang out with it for sure. I would definitely watch this movie again with a group, with like a crowd. I think that's kind of the way you got to do this. As far as I feel about it now, man, like hearing about Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of sucks, and seeing him in the movie, he just kind of is walking through it, and he kind of sucks. But this is Raul Julia's movie for sure. You watch this movie, and he somehow makes it the right amount of cheesy by also grounding it in his excellent stagey performance. You know what I mean? Somehow he just kind of gets that right level. Like he's nailed it. But I think it's fun. I definitely watch it again. It's Street Fighter. It's Street Fighter the movie. I'm gonna go. Let's give it a 5.9.
Damn, Sean, 5.9.
Also,
AJ.
one more thing. Wouldn't it be crazy to slip someone a $100 bill with your face on it and be
dope.
dead serious
And
about
be
it?
Dead serious about it.
Fuck.
That might be another prop. Just the case.
It's true.
The case of bison bucks. Like, are you kidding me? That's great.
5.9 for Sean. AJ, what about you?
This is a tough one. It's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of hard to get through though these days. Like, because this one, it's tough to take away the nostalgia in like a bad way. Like, I'm thinking about the nostalgia in a bad way. Like, remembering how much I wanted this to be a great movie and how much it just ultimately let me down as a kid, and I still just wanted other people to watch it and be like, and like tell me like it's good. You know? It's such a weird thing. The saving grace is pretty much Raul Julia just being M. Bison. He's yucking it up in kind of a theatrical way, like you're talking about, Sean. He's playing it up in the right way, whereas like everyone else like doesn't have that right as their character. Like, that's not what this is all about. The plot is like really shoehorning in just how can we make all these characters work. It's tough, man. It's tough to follow. It's tough to care about like half of these characters. So I don't know. Long story short, I guess I would still watch this over a decent amount of other movies in the long run here, I guess. So I'll go ahead and I'll give this I'm going to give this a 3.9.
Yikes. 3.9 for AJ. Sean, it should be noted that you like Street Fighter better than the movie Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
It should be noted that way. I gave this a 1 and then never watched it for the rest of my life, and I was prepared for shit. And yeah, there was some shit in here, but man, it's way better than I thought it was, and I think it's just because of the underlying tones that I never caught. I didn't know about Raul Julia. I didn't know how great he was. I didn't know these funny underlying jokes. I didn't realize that if they would have given me the power moves, I probably would have hated it more, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't that bad this time around, and it was kind of fun to watch it even again after that. I think this movie proves that if you're in the Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Jean-Claude Van Damme camp of who's better, Arnold Schwarzenegger is leagues better than Jean-Claude in every aspect of acting, of everything. And this movie really is all you need to tell people if they think Jean-Claude's this unbelievable actor, because he's not. I'm going to go slightly above Mortal Kombat. I'm going to go a 5.1.
Nice.
So Sean, as tradition, usually the guy that's never seen it usually gives it the best rating.
Sure.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
4.97 is where we land on this due to AJ's very low rating. That's still going to be bottom 10. It's going to be all alone. We think that Iron Eagle, Over the Top, and The Cutting Edge are better movies, but we think this is better than Harry and the Hendersons, Biodome, and Explorers is how we feel about this movie.
Harry and the Hendersons, man.
Sorry, buddy.
Got a bad rap down there.
Just got a bad rap on that one, man.
Yeah.
Got a bad rap, huh?
Bad rap.
Oh, I got a bad rap.
I think it's a bad rap.
Harry Henderson's got a bad rap.
Yeah, you gotta have to re-rap that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here. Tune in next weekend. We got Anaconda, followed by Howard the Duck. And if you're new to this podcast, go back this time last year. A fun episode for you will be a movie called Friday. That is a summer movie, summer heat of LA, and it's pretty fun. We had a good time discussing it.
Hell yeah. Great movie.
Anaconda don't want duck unless you've got buns, Howard.
I'm pretty sure you see his ass in that movie.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
What? Sorry. You've lost your balls.
Thanks to Brian on the controls. Upload Media Group here in Cedar Rapids. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com and check out our network, Cloud 10 at cloud10.fm. That's it for us. Hadouken.
Hadouken.
No, they never did that.
Of course.
Thanks again for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube here in the studio, hanging out with us live and in person in the studs. Check us out on social media. Search for Confused Breakfast at Confused Breakfast anywhere on social media. And please leave us a review. 5 stars on any platform that you're listening on. Write us a comment on Spotify or an Apple Podcast. Write us a review. We love to read them.
Go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the merch that we have. You can see the shirts. We have new shirts up there. It's awesome. I believe it. You can go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have covered. You can see AJ's ratings. You can see Mike's ratings. And you can see my ratings and the show's ratings overall. Goodbye. I love you.
Thanks to Brian on the controls here at Upload Media Group. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com and learn more about our network Cloud 10 at cloud10.fm. We love you so much. Go on to the next video.